Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for March 15th, 2021 with your host, Spacebreaker2448 and Rampet Epsilon.
Hi.
We had a wonderful conversation about Saber before we started.
All I'm going to say is I do not regret jumping off of that train wreck before it got to where it is.
I will agree with you. Ghost is a better put together show than this, and I will fight people on that.
And what's bad is Ghost's problem is boring.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for the most part, and I say for the most part, there are points where the story kind of differentiates from this one, but it feels like the overall story for Ghost works. It's when we start tying in outside media that it just breaks.
Yeah. I think it would have helped if we had a better villain that wasn't the Genmisers or Adele. Because they both suck.
So you mean you think it would have been better if we actually, had a final villain?
Yes. Sage for final villain for Ghost.
Because, let's be fair. Adele was mid-season villain at best.
Look, if you run out of ways to kick the main villain, like 30 episodes in, that's a problem. Looking at you too, Build an X8. Don't think you're out of the woods on this one.
Yeah, they're not.
Is it weird that I
will
don't
defend X8 a little bit more since, the same writing team did 01. And it's clear that they realized where their mistake was. So I'm like, okay, I will give them benefit of the doubt. That was first show energy and you can feel it kind of deal. Yeah. That's about all that I can give though, because you're exactly right. Both Build and X8 kind of, in early.
Yeah.
And then we get basically repeats of the same fights.
Yeah.
Although, now that I'm thinking about that, everything post-Drive kind of hit that for that entire end there. Because even Geo did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a weird short trope that I'm glad might have gotten broke. I say might because, Saber could completely bring that back.
I don't know who the main villain of Saber is at the moment, which might be a different problem in general.
Fair.
Because it's not the Megadale because they've just been stumbled around and passed around forever. It could be Master Logos, but he hasn't done anything. It can't be Reika because she's lieutenant. She's lieutenant in this situation. She's not in charge. She's not the one pulling the strings. She's not going to be final villain. She's secondary writer beats you villain material currently.
Except you wait. That'll be how it'll spin.
But I saw in one of the time loops that Master Logos starts to walk up. I don't even know if he has a belt or not. I forgot to check. But I'm like, okay, so are you going to fight someone? Are you secretly a Megiddo? Are you also secretly a writer with an extra sword that we didn't know about before? Who the fuck are you? Why are you nuts? You know, the one show that I had reservations on is surprising me because then Kaiju continues to be good, and I'm just like, this.
You're just
I'm in the-
secretly like, this is the one I expected to suck, and it's actually pretty good.
Yes, exactly. Like there's things about the show that I'm like, okay, if we can rein this in, like going forward, I'm fine. Like more or less the Kikainoids that are the robot rangers, like as long as they get reined in a little bit and aren't like doing their one thing over and over again for their whole season, like I'll be fine. Because like Gowon was a bit strong this week with his like, I have a boner for all the flesh things because they're not robots and I like the flesh things.
Oh god.
Yeah, he likes people more than he likes robots, and he also likes animals more than he likes robots, and he kind of has a not really a hard on, but he definitely feels like he's got a hard on for that. So if we can rein that back in a little bit, like good, because I'm not dealing with a whole season of this. Gawa needs to put his boner back in his pants and calm down, please.
I mean, at least it's got, you know, potential.
I also love that. I hope this continues because it should continue. This running gag of whenever a Kakainoid joins the team, they immediately take the gun and shoot a minion in front of them before everyone else on the team has to explain how to transform. I'm like, yes, because they've done it 2 episodes in a row, and it's wonderful. I need to happen again, but
that would be funny if that just like continuously happens.
I need it to keep happening for all the character introductions, because like this week's episode is Majin, who's the girl fortune teller of the group, and I want hers to just be she takes the gun, doesn't know what it is, accidentally kills a minion, and just goes, "Oh God, I've killed someone." It's like, "Oh God, I didn't realize this was a gun," because she's all magic and stuff. I just want her to accidentally kill one of them. And then to really hit it home, since Vroom keeps getting beaten up because he's the janitor of the bad guys, he takes the gun and then kills all of the minions. Because he's like, yes, I will totally kick these guys' asses. I'm killing all of them. So yeah, I still want to wait till like episode 5 onward, because that's gonna be like the standard episodes, but for now, Zenkaiger makes me happy. Because Saber fucking isn't. But speaking of writer shows that do make me happy, it's 4 of our last 8 episodes of Dragon Knight, because next week's the last 4 episodes.
Which it's weird because, you know, as said last batch, it kind of felt like we were kind of hitting that in-game moment.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one, I feel like, is more the calm before the final storm. Because it didn't feel as packed as I've seen a lot of them so far.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that it's probably because they don't want to introduce too much and not have time to clean it up.
Yeah. Also, you love their like liberal reuse of footage at times to stall.
Yeah. Like
you can see
they did good up to this point, and some of those cuts to the old footage is like, no, you didn't really try for that one, did you? you kind of reached for that.
Look, you're seeing the strings on the budget now. Like we're literally just trying to get to the end. We don't have that much left.
Might have used a little too much early on.
Maybe. But it is 33 through 36. Sure. Yes. Any other thoughts before we hit the recaps?
No.
All right, then we shall kick off with episode 33, Out of the Void. So we pick up with Lynn and Adam, with Adam being like, "Hey, buddy, sorry about the traitor." And Lynn's like, "You go fuck yourself right now. I want you dead." Which is kind of the theme of like most of these 4 episodes, is Adam showing up being like, "I'm totally on your side, guys." And everyone's like, "Fuck off."
Which I feel like is completely justifiable.
Right. Like, I'm sorry, you vented all of us and got all of the people on our planet kidnapped by an alien we thought we had beat. You need to do better than just show up going, "I'm sorry, guys."
And I mean, even if parts of his, what I'm gonna assume is majority fake story later on, is actually true. Yeah, no. No, you screwed up.
Big time.
There's no fixing that. You screwed up.
Uh-huh. I also love how Lynn points out the obvious of, "I saw Xaviex take the dragon deck. I know full well the only reason you could have that deck is he gives it to you because that's the thing he's been doing all season." I'm sorry, no. I don't believe that you stole the deck and snuck out of the base. Bullshit.
Yeah. Like, also, I'm gonna point this out. I am amazed that later on in the episode, when Adam's back with Xaviex, that Xaviex doesn't just snap his neck. Because
yeah,
the mindset I was figuring was trying to be presented was, Adam act like he's Kit. To get in their group unsuspected.
Well, here's the problem. They know Ubulon's back, and it's gonna blow up as soon as Kit shows up being like, "Hey guys, I'm back," and Adam's like, so I wasn't Kit, I guess."
But I would have to think that by that point, he would have done what Xaviex was wanting him to do.
Well, I mean, Adam's bad at his job.
Yeah, he is like uber bad at this. It's like you are in-game villain that is actually just horrible at your job. Way to go.
Yep. But back in the episode, Lynn again does not give a fuck. Goes survive mode, and Adam's like, I guess I'll go too and try to fight you. And Lynn proceeds to kick his ass because, of course, he does. But then Adam tries to do his final vent, and Lynn's like, "Fucking do it." And Adam's like, no, and then runs away. As Lynn is shown to be pulling a card pre-opening, but then we just see him show up at the base later, and I'm like, "Oh, you were pulling your Final Vent card, weren't you?" And you're just like, I want to so bad, but I can't. Also, throughout this entire episode, Ubulon's in the Advent Void rescuing Riders. It keeps popping up every 2 minutes in the show, so I'm not gonna say every time it happens. It's the things it's what he's busy doing all episode.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Out of everyone that he wakes up, there's only one time where you see that his driver is a little, mangled up.
Yeah.
It's like, really, guys? You couldn't just, alternated the footage, since pretty much it's the exact same thing every time.
Except he carries a different unconscious person off screen.
Yeah, that's the only part that had to be reshot, kind of deal. It's like, guys, come on.
But back at base, we check in with Maya. She comes back and is like, "Yay! I beat up bad guys. I destroyed Beacon. Woo!" And then Len's like, "Hey guys," and then he takes Maya aside and is like, "By the way, Adam's back. I'm not happy about it, but we're gonna try to focus on other things." And Maya's like, "All right, sure." And then Adam goes back to Xaviax and gets fucking chewed out for not doing his one job. And I'd love that Adam rightly points out, it's like, Xaviax, they know I pulled the traitor. They can't trust me. They'll never trust me. What do you want me to do? Which is a very fair point.
And is also the reason why I figured, the idea was the opposite. Act like he's Kit.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of Xaviax's aggravation towards Adam is because he didn't take the hints.
Yeah.
When we first saw Adam, his hair was done a different way. Xaviax intentionally rucked it up to make him look like Kit. Mm-hmm. It's like, really, dude, you couldn't take the hint?
Yeah. I also have to think that Xaviax is partially doing this just to stall for time, because it's like, well, they can beat up my riders, or they can beat up my monsters. I just really need the beacons to get online, and then I can teleport everyone. So, fucking, you just go in there and just fucking be a punching bag for them. I don't give a shit.
I feel like you're right on that.
It's just like, you could be vented and I will not fucking care. There's only like one person I even remotely gave a shit about that I gave a deck to, and you're not it. Like, you will be vented, and then I'll be like, oh no, your girlfriend's just gonna hang out in this hologram room, like, unconscious forever. Oh no, how horrible. Anyway, we catch up with Lynn and Maya after this. They're doing training. Lynn's distracted because of the Adam thing, because Maya actually beat him in a fight, and she's like, okay, you should not beat me. What's up? He's like, Adam, because we were friends, and then he pulled a traitor, and I don't like it, and I don't know how to feel about it, because I'm angry and mad.
And the normal Lynn stuff.
Yep. But later on, we actually get Lynn telling Maya about what it's like to be a writer, and more or less of, well, after Ubulon disappeared, we couldn't disconnect from the decks because he's the only one that can disconnect us, and we could pass the decks to other people. So we're stuck with an alarm ringing in our ears every time something bad happens, which I'm like, that sounds like a bad design decision. Like, I get why, but maybe don't.
Yeah.
That's bound to drive someone mad.
Yeah. Also, the whole thing about them being suspended for 12 years at a time, did they hear it during them years too? Because if so, oh my god.
I wouldn't think so. I think it would be the only person who's, like, awake.
Maybe. If the decks, though, are the reason why they're hearing it, it's like,
Ubulon, you've made some poor decisions.
It's one of those, are we sure that Xaviax is the only villain?
But he also talks about Adam going like, yeah, he was signed up to help us fight Xaviax, but like, he wasn't going to stick around forever. He was just there to help and be done and just move on. And I'm like, fair. Like, it's fair that it's just like, Adam is just someone who wanted to help, but then he just wanted to help the one time and be done. Like, he didn't want to help forever because he wasn't ready to help forever. But at this point, we head back to base. Ubulon shows up with 3 of our Ventaran riders. This is Hunt, Chance, and Price. The Ventaran Axe, Torque, and Strike. Which Trent immediately is like, I gotta hit the alarm button, gotta hit the alarm button, gotta hit the alarm button. Because, like, let's see, one of you tried to vent Kit all the time. The other one was kind of a psycho and wanted everyone dead. And the third one was just an asshole. So, maybe cause for concern?
Yeah, why'd we decide those 3 needed to be the first 3?
Because Lynn forgot to tell Ubulon, like, which ones to actually bring back. It's like, maybe you should have brought back, like, Chris's counterpart to not cause for alarm. Like, the real reason why these 3 are brought back is because these 3 are the only people we have footage for left.
I mean, fair.
Because, like, all 3 of these writers make it to the end of the show. More or less, so...
Fair.
It's gotta be you 3. But I do like how they immediately, like, highlight it. Just like, these aren't the same people, because, like, what is it? Like, Price is like, or like Chance is like, who are they talking about? And Price is like, wait, there's other writers besides us? And it's like, oh, okay, you definitely are completely different from your Earth counterparts. Good. Good. You 3 are not collective assholes.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we totally didn't save the wrong ones.
Yeah. We're working on it. But yeah, Ubulon fills in Trent, and he, like, calms down a bit. Until Maya and Lynn show up, and Maya immediately sees Price, and is just like, oh, fuck, gotta murder. Fuck you. Because all she sees is James, and she's like, oh, you're dead. I'm putting you right back in there. Go fuck yourself. And it's just like, no. Because, like, Lynn immediately, like brings her hand down to be like, nope, no Dex. And I think Price actually reaches for his.
I don't remember right offhand.
It's blink and you miss it because it immediately cuts to Maya pulling her deck, but I swear at least, like, one of them tries and, like, reaches for their deck, like, I need to reach for mine real quick because apparently shit's going to go down.
I mean, to be fair, I can understand that.
Yeah.
They know what the decks do. So if someone's fixing to whip one out, they're probably fixing to fight them.
Yeah. But Lynn's just like, no, and it immediately is buddy-buddy with everybody because it's like, oh god, my friends, I'm so happy to see you. We need to talk and get you caught up. So Ubulon and Lynn leave with the 3 of them, leaving Maya and Trent, I guess, to try to calm down after seeing 3 assholes that have tried to murder them on different occasions.
Yeah, to varying degrees.
We also check in with Adam as he talks to Sarah and tries to find the resolve within himself to actually do what Xaviax wants, as Xaviax pesters him more because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
But he finds it and heads out. But then we catch up with Ubulon as he explains to the other writers, like, what's going on, and they're like, wait, so we're not on Ventara? And he's like, no, you're on Earth. This is the world behind the mirrors, which is hilarious.
Kind of funny seeing as how that's what we've been told about Ventara this whole time.
Right, and they're like, okay, so he's going to do to Earth what he did to us, so we're going to go fuck him up, right? And Ubulon's like, yes, we are going to go fuck him up. And they're like, good. Let's murder this man again. For real this time. But Trent drops in with locations for the transmitter, or for the beacons, really. I don't know why I list them as transmitters. They're refrigerators, more or less, is what they look like this time.
I think, didn't they call them that in show? That might be why.
Probably. I don't remember.
It's the Smashables from the final villain.
Yes. It's the things we need to take care of. But they got like 2 locations in like South America and like 1 in Asia, because we're going around the world for these beacons, even though we're totally not, because we ain't got the budget for that. So
yeah, I think we're going to Field, City, and that's about it. We're just kind of alternating.
Pretty much. But instead of smashing them this time, Ubion has the plan of, all right, take these drives, upload the virus, the drives self-destruct. We're going to just take them offline. We're going to go kill Xaviax, and then I'm going to use these to get our people back, because I guess I can't invent more.
Even though, with the thing we find out later, really makes you question why this plan has to be this way.
I assume it's a case of this would be faster.
I mean, faster, yes. But really, it has to be this way?
Yeah. So Ubion heads out back to the Advent Void to find more people, even though his deck's damaged, and if he gets lost in there, we're screwed. Which sounds like maybe you should take some time to repair your deck first before you go rescuing more riders, especially when...
But there's no time.
Both of them kind of sit out the majority of these episodes.
but there's no time.
Yeah.
Must do it now.
Yeah. But Hunt heads out alone because he works alone, which once more is like a nice signal of, this person is not the guy you met before, to the audience. Lynn takes Chance and Price with him to one of the other locations, and we check in with Adam as Aviax sends him to Hunt, because go befriend him. Go do your job, Adam. So he tries to talk to Hunt. It doesn't go well, because Hunt tries to literally beat the shit out of him.
Fair.
Until they are surrounded by monsters, and then they fight him, and then they both blow up the monsters, and then Hunt's like, go fuck yourself, I'm leaving. I'm going to go do my job now. Bye. And that's when Xaviax actually spots him inserting a drive, and he goes like, oh, a virus. Oh, I need that. And then he calls into Adam, and Adam's like, nothing's working. And Xaviax is just like, here's a piece of advice. Stop whining! I'm like, you are a credit to this show. Mm-hmm. You're the reason the show is wonderful. He's just like, stop complaining, stop whining, do your job, get me that flash drive.
I mean, to be fair, a good villain makes most of the show good, kind of deal.
Yes.
I say most because, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Adam ends up running to the monsters that are sent after Hunt. Hunt steps in and is just like, I threw the axe at you, but I guess I hit another monster. Oh, well, let's just go blow these up. And then they do. And then Hunt's like, if you follow me, I will vent your ass. Bye. And just leaves. And then Adam's like, oh, I'm sad again. No one likes me.
Oh, that's what he gets for pulling a traitor.
Yeah, pulling a really hard traitor. But that takes us to episode 34, Back in Black. So Lynn and the others arrive at their location. And they disable it while Price is just like, did I do something to piss off the girl? I get the feeling I pissed her off some way. And we just met. And Chance's like, well, you're always like that with girls. And Lynn's like, please, can we stop talking? I would like to not talk about the alternate versions of you I had to deal with this entire season.
Especially, you know, the one that just got destroyed not too recently.
Yeah. Yeah, especially you, Price, because your alternate version, like, vented my girlfriend and it made me very angry. And I'm trying really hard not to hold a grudge about it. But they disable it, but they end up finding some monsters outside, so they transform and fight them, and have a rough go of it. Until Onyx shows up. Well then. So Onyx gets his sword and then proceeds to help them, and they're like, well, we don't know who this rider is, but he's helping us, so fuck it. Let's go beat up some monsters then. I love how these guys are just like, okay, if they are a rider, they are a good guy. If they are a monster, they are a bad guy. Like,
well, it's not so much that they all kind of sat back and waited until they saw who he was fighting, and then it's like, oh, well, he's fighting what we're fighting. Sure, friend.
Friend. I'm like, oh god, that would not fly in like current rider.
No.
I'm like, just because you have the belt does not mean you are automatically a good person.
Oh. No, nor does just fighting the enemy.
Yeah. But the four of them blow up all the monsters, and then Lynn goes Onyx and is just like, who the fuck are you? And then Onyx transforms, and we find out it's Kit, who's happy to be back. But I love how Price and Chance turn the corner, see that this is like not Adam, and they're like, here we go again. Knowing how last time ended with Lynn and his best friend. But Lynn fills him in on like Adam being back and having his deck, and he's like, oh, that explains why I got this deck. And then we flash back to Ubulon, for some reason, not dumping Kit and Case out at the base, but instead rolling them onto this middle portion of these stairs before having to drag himself out of the Advent Void, I guess, in order to not be stuck there. And Kit is, of course, very confused by this person in front of him, like, who the fuck is you? Did you hurt Cass? What the fuck's happening? And he's just like, no time. Here's the deck. Go help Lynn. And Kit rightly going, I've seen that deck before. That's a bad deck.
Yeah. I love the fact he's like, no, screw that deck. You got another one? I will help. No, not that one.
But Cass is like, no, it's fine. It's okay. Even though we are shown the entire not fight between him and Lynn where he vented him as Onyx.
Again.
Like, again.
For I'm the third time now?
I think it's just the second time. I think.
We got the flashback in the recap episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that one.
Yeah. I think almost this exact same part of it. I don't think we saw the full fight in the recap episode either.
Probably. Also, I love how Ubulon's just had a deck on him this whole time that is totally not a recolor of the Dragon Knight deck for some reason, and no one really questions it.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder what the point of this deck is.
Unless it's just like a backup in case, and maybe he has them for all of the riders?
Maybe, but like, Kit is better as a fighter with this deck. Like, he whips Adam's ass. Like, outright. And Adam should be able to hold his own against Kit.
I would
think.
Kit's
like, yeah. But Kit's like, no, you're going down. So, like, Kit very much is a better fighter with this deck, which means this is a better version of the Dragon Knight deck, technically?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, maybe. Because it might not be so much that he's a better fighter now, as much as he might have Adam's fighting knowledge now.
That would also make sense. That Ubulon's like, hang on, real quick.
Because he can do it.
Yeah, there's automatic fighting that should get you good. Like, go kick ass.
Because that's something we know he can do, so I could see that being a thing.
Mm-hmm. And also, like I explained this earlier, but this is when we find out that apparently the Advent Beast, which I guess in this case would have been Drag Blacker, was like giving Kit the nightmares. And I guess showing him what he could have been if he went bad. But once he, I guess, has the deck and the contract card, he's fine. So that means Drag Blacker's been around this entire time? I guess? Question mark?
I guess.
Because I assume it's not Drag Redder giving him the nightmares, because, like, why would it?
He's already contracted with it. In theory, it shouldn't, then.
Right. But also, why would Drag Blacker be giving him nightmares?
Unless it was more of a, I guess, technical double foreshadow?
I guess.
Because maybe it's a case of it was supposed to, one, foreshadow that, you know, a deck could potentially have more than one contract beast, which we've now seen.
Right.
Or two, it could actually be foreshadowing that he was supposed to also have access to this.
It would make sense if, it would make sense given the final episode, but we'll get there next week.
Yeah. But that's why I'm like, it might be one of those double foreshadow kind of deals.
Yeah. Granted, I also say the deck is stronger because this deck has no survive card. Because, you know, Ryuga didn't have a survive mode in like episode final.
I mean,
but if it,
we do also know that technically that it could.
Yeah. But if it's been in Ubulon's care this entire time, wouldn't it actually have its survive card on it?
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, which makes me think it's like stronger because like maybe because like to compensate for like it not having a survive card, maybe it's technically stronger than the other decks to like compensate for that. Because Ubulon didn't have time to make it a survive card, and he's busy doing other shit the rest of the season.
That, or maybe he did it more as a safety precaution, and it might also tie back to, like I was saying, maybe all the decks have a dark variant. Maybe he's kind of got it as a backup in case he ever had to stop someone.
Makes sense.
I could actually see that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Lost the point I was trying to think of. Shit. I was going to bring up something in the night.
Because, I mean, I kind of see your point, too, in it being just a stronger version.
Yeah.
But I also find it weird that he had it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I wonder if maybe it was actually more supposed to be a in case of emergency break glass kind of deal.
It has to be because Lynn doesn't know about it. Because he said 12 decks. Onyx is the 13th deck. He didn't even know about it. So Ubulon, literally Ubulon must have took it with him when he disappeared.
Yeah, must have.
Oh, now I remember what I was going to bring up. That also means that Kit only got to go into survive mode once. He only gets to use it once in a losing effort. Which, getting that traded off for Onyx, which honestly is a really good suit. even if it's just a black recolor of Ryuki. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, let's be completely fair. This is Lynn's show.
It is, because now our main character isn't even Dragon Knight; he's Onyx. Like I said, soon enough you realize, oh right, this is technically not Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, this is Kamen Rider Wing Knight, but Dragon Knight is the main suit, so... I feel like all of this is just a byproduct of the footage of, like, Shinji as Ryuki getting his ass handed to him a lot by every other writer in the series.
I mean, fair.
And also not having the final fight with Odin, Knight does. So it's like, if we make him the main character, we have to like rework everything contextually speaking. And it's just like, what if we just didn't? Which I give them credit for doing their damnedest to work with footage that is supposed to have all these writers fighting each other, but by now all the writers are on the same side. So we have to like slice and dice footage at key points to make sure we don't show you them fighting.
Yeah. Which I feel like is a good thing in the way they did it. But at the same time, I also wonder what the show could have looked like if they had the budget to, you know, do all the fight choreography on their own. Because what we see of their own, it's good. And I'm like, ooh, I wonder what this could have been. Like,
yeah.
if we didn't have to use the footage from Ryuki.
Yeah, if we just got to use suits, which some of them are looking a little mangled. Like the back of Ryuki's suit in one shot is like, you've been through some stuff recently because you're looking a bit mangled.
Which, I mean, I know they probably never had that option to be able to do it. Regardless of budget, kind of deal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's one of those, I'm like, okay, they did good with what they had. What if they could have had more?
Yeah. Like, honestly, watching the show, I'm just like, Toei, you had a good show here. Like, you shouldn't be scared about, like, bringing Ryder to the States because everything about the show works.
One of those, they had a good show here, they had a bad platform to distribute it, kind of deal.
Yeah, especially when the last 4 episodes are stuck being premiered exclusively online in 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah. After the show was canceled prematurely. Anyway, back in the episode, Xaviax has started to cloak his beacons to try to stall them. And then he sends Adam to Maya, not Case, as I wrote down, because I'm dumb.
Yep, a little too early there.
Yep, to be like, go befriend Maya, go help her get out of trouble. And he's like, she's kicking ass just fine. She doesn't need me. But he's just like, no, go do as I say. It's like, fine. Also, apparently the three Ventaran riders we have no science because they helped Trent actually uncloak the beacons immediately. No, he's like, "Oh, you're nerds, cool." Also, Trent and Kit catch up, and Kit's like, doppelgangers and all that, not explaining who ended up taking up their decks, but nah. But at this point, Lynn gets to catch up with Case, who's injured? Question mark?
The only reason I can think she is because maybe you still have the injuries you had when you got vented?
Probably. So like Case was pretty beaten up when she got vented, but Kit was kind of fine when he got vented. So
well, I mean, Kit kind of had final vents colliding, and that's what caused his.
Right.
Something we've seen in Rider, other riders walk away from, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I could see him being okay, whereas she wasn't.
Mm-hmm. I feel like she's sidelined because, right, we have no original film footage anymore. We'd have to make our own. We're short on budget. Can you just sit out a couple episodes until we need you? Same with you too, Kit.
I think it's that combined with at the point of right now, we also don't have another deck.
Yeah. Maya currently has your deck at the moment. We'll get it back to you soon.
It's like, yeah, there's alternate people, not alternate decks. So,
yeah.
Whoops.
Look, I'm not giving you the Dark Siren deck. I gave out one. I'm not giving out the others. Like that's already too much. But anyway, as Lynn and Cass are catching up, and Kit's just kind of hanging out there because it's like, oh yeah, she's back, and just kind of goes there. Ubion's like, Maya's in trouble. You might want to go help her. And Kit immediately is just like, I'll go alone. You two catch up, and just leaves.
And I feel like this is a horrible decision.
True, but I do like that he's just like, look, you two should catch up because I know what you getting vented did to Lynn. You two should get some time alone. I'm leaving.
I get that. At the same time, though, I'm thinking that is a bad idea.
True.
Because what would have happened if Kit and Adam both showed up out of suit? Or Adam got there beforehand and, Maya called him Kit.
Yeah.
Then we would have had a whole basket of worms.
Yeah. To be fair, they are wearing different clothes. And Kit only has like the one set of clothes he wears all season. So.
Okay. All I'm going to say is that does not matter.
I know. But speaking of Kit, Adam first, because he tries to talk to Maya, and Maya's like, no, I want none of you, and actually does, I actually see Blankwing in her final vent, which might be the only time we ever see Siren's final vent in the series.
Probably.
But she beats up all the monsters, even with Adam helping just a tiny bit. And gets injured in the leg and then tries to leave. But Adam's like, no, come on. Give me a chance, please. You haven't even properly met me yet. And she's like, well, Lynn's told me enough. So no.
Yeah,
and eventually
I love how he's like, I didn't even traitor you. At least listen to me.
It's like, come on, please. But at this point, Kit shows up and he's just like, oh, you're here. I will vent you. And Adam's like, oh, come on. At least hear me out. And Kit's like, okay, fine. And gets into his thing. But Adam's like, you had a choice. I didn't have a choice. I mean, you do. You kind of do right now. It's not like you can't tell the
walk away.
It's not like you can't go to their base and be like, by the way, they have my girlfriend. He has my girlfriend. I help. But no, he doesn't.
Yeah, but he doesn't want her to know that, he pulled the traitor, and that's why she had to be saved.
True. But anyway, the two end up arguing. They transform and now are our twin dragons are fighting, and Kit stomps at him a butthole because he's had enough of this. And I feel like he also wants his deck back because he's just like, this deck works, but I kind of like my old deck, please.
I kind of didn't get to use that survive card in there enough.
Yeah. Can I also steal yours? But they fight, and Kit's ready to vent at him when Ubulon finally shows up, and he's just like, Kit, don't. Then you'll become the thing in your nightmares. And he's like, fine. And he doesn't. And Ubulon takes Adam to the base, so Adam can explain his side of the story to everyone, which Lynn immediately is like, nope, fuck you, bye. Just fucking leaves.
Also, I love how this is the start of the problems to come.
Yeah.
Because Ubulon is, so vast in his wise knowledge that he... Yeah.
But that's halfway through. Any thoughts?
No.
All right, we shall hit the second half right away with episode 35, A Hero's Fall. So we pick up with Lynn storming off, and I'm like, Lynn, calm down, it's fine. And Lynn's like, no, he pulled a traitor, I hate him. And Ubulon's like, fine, you're angry, let's fight with some Dollar Tree lightsabers real quick.
I love how he throws to Lynn the point of, are you sure you hate him, or are you sure that you just don't want to forgive him? It's like, yes.
A bit of both, really. Honestly, it's all of the above.
He pulled a traitor. I hate him for that. I don't care why he did it.
So the two of them fight with some Dollar Tree lightsabers. Ubulon kicks his ass, and I guess that calms Lynn down enough to actually go back and listen. Meanwhile, Maya, I guess not wanting to hear what Adam has to say, drops by case, and it's just like, okay, being a writer's cool, but it's not for me. Here's your deck back. I'm gonna go back to being a journalist and telling the truth and stuff. Which, that's not something I would ever expect a writer series to ever do, ever.
Expect it, no.
Yeah.
See it gonna come, yes.
Mm-hmm. Having a supporting cast member become a writer, see the pros and cons of being a writer, and then going, maybe it's not for me. Maybe I have my own way of helping everyone. I would rather do that and let someone else be a writer. Holy hell, this is a really good point. This might be me, but it gets... Because I heard it in, the watch-alongs for Saber I watched, of May deserving to be a writer because of everything she does. But does she really need to be a writer to justify her being who she is and, her role in the story?
I don't really think, truthfully. Especially after seeing this.
Yeah. This just makes me look at all of the different supporting cast members we have in the show and you all do your part in the show. You didn't need a belt to do that. You all helped in your own way. Hell, the entire writer club from Forza is just none of you needed a belt, but you all did your part and you're all heroes in your own right.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong either. There are some instances where it's yeah, you probably deserve some kind of something.
Kiriko.
Bingo.
Kiriko. Kiriko. Kiriko times 1,000.
Yep. completely deserved, even if it was just a mock driver.
Yeah.
I mean, but then there's times where, like you said with Forza, it's like, yeah, really, no, you didn't need everyone to have a belt.
But that doesn't diminish what all of the club did.
Right. And it's like, yeah, I see both sides of that one.
Yeah. Granted, this is also the double fan in me who really loves that the name Kamen Rider means something in that series. And if you fucking or make that name bad, like, no, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve that title. You don't deserve the belt because you're not like upholding what that name means.
I mean, technically, Justin Double, as far as for story purposes, but also in realistic sense, in O's and Forza as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and yes, that's technically by extension from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But each of the shows in their own right kind of lean towards that. You can tell that was the vibe going in to all three of those shows.
Yeah, Goto's entire character arc is about him earning the birth driver from Date so that Date can go off and get like the surgery he needs to not die. And then, well, that's honestly also Ryusei's entire character arc as well, is actually earning the name Rider from the one person who like introduced what the name Rider to the series in like kind of the greater lore of Rider. So yeah, weird hang up on my part, I know, because it doesn't super matter. Because we have like plenty of villains and stuff that have the name Rider that probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Guy, you don't deserve it.
Is it weird I'd actually kind of, be more willing to give it to him over like Kronos or any of them?
I mean, true.
I mean,
but he still doesn't deserve it.
No. Deserve more so than some of the villains that have stole the title, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things about the show that I'm like, oh my god, the show gets this right. And it's one of the things I really like about Rider. Why don't more shows do this? This American adaptation of a series that did nothing with that title really outside of, I think, one episode, maybe? No, this show makes it a point. And I'm like, Dragonite, you're good. Anyway, we catch back up with Adam now as he explains that essentially he met not Xaviax, posing as someone else from Ubulon's planet that was going to help him disconnect from the driver and like help them when Ubulon was gone and Xaviax was also gone, except it turned out to be Xaviax.
Which is hilarious because part of the story that Adam is telling about not Xaviax is actually kind of true, as we find out later.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's actually kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that was one of those no one else really knew it kind of deal.
Yeah.
And that's why that kind of hit a little better for Adam.
Mm-hmm. He also doesn't mention that Sarah's been kidnapped by Xaviax. He's just like, look, I fell in love with Sarah. I wanted to just leave and be done. And like, we all wanted to be done, right? Because we all talked about this. And like, I don't know if anyone gives anyone looks of just like, I mean, yeah, kind of, but like,
I don't think anyone did. And I have to think it's because of Ubulon being there, kind of deal. They kind of don't want to disappoint, the man that can tell them to go back to the Advent Void.
Yeah. But he then lies and says that he escaped because all the riders were distracting Xaviax, and it's like, who honestly believes that? Especially Lin, because he should know better. But we gotta take over 2 more beacons. So like Ubulon, Hunt, and Price head to one location. Lin, Adam, and Chance are going to another. Kit and Case are staying on base because you're gonna protect stuff in case things happen. Also because we don't have footage for you, so just stay here so we don't have to shoot new footage for you, except we'll do later. Anyway, we catch up with Ubulon's group first as they end up getting ambushed and Hunt gets injured in the fight, so they have to fall back and back to base. Lin's group finds the beacon's location, but they end up getting attacked by a monster. Lin and Chance end up having to fight it, and Lin has to give Adam the drive reluctantly so he can go do it, which Xaviax is just around the corner when he gets to it of just like, all right, give me the drive. I'll turn this off to cover your ass. Here's a monster to also cover your ass in case anyone asks like why it took so long. And then like Lin and Chance blow up the monster, and they actually just reuse the final, like Lin slotting in his final vent card. Like it's the exact same footage.
Yeah.
And I think Chance's footage is also reused again in the fight.
Probably.
Yeah. But monsters are blown up. Adam gets congratulations because like, oh, hey, you did good job. Let's head home. And before they arrive, Cass talks to Kit like, hey, give him a chance. Because, like, I should have gave you a chance sooner. Give him a chance. But I do love that Kit brings up the point of like, I know when I'm lying, and I don't think he's telling us something, which would be one of 2 characters that rightly should point out that, he seems sus. Something seems sus. Oh well. But we end the episode with everyone coming back, but Hunt is down, so Ebulon has to heal him, but Xaviax now has the drive, and he's decoding the virus to make an antivirus, so oh no. Oh no. Which takes us to our final episode, episode 36, Dark Deception. Ebulon is busy healing Hunt, while Lin takes the other 2 Ventaran riders to the location they were at to get the beacon. Kit has some one-on-one time with Adam, just to try to, like, encourage him to be like, hey, shit happens, you can do better, like, it's okay. And that's when they hear like the alarm thing for a monster, and then him and Kit and Cass go take care of it, while Adam's like, I'm fine, you guys can handle it. Which I find it ironic that one of our last original fights for the series is the 2 movie writers fighting monsters together, even though they were enemies in the movie. I kind of like the irony of that.
That is funny.
But Lin arrives with the others at the beacon's location as they try to avoid an ambush. We check in with Kit and Cass as they have a quick fight to clean up some monsters, and then leave with Cass going like, hey, keep encouraging Adam. He needs it, because I guess Adam has like some self-doubt issues, which honestly makes sense with a later scene.
True.
But eventually we see Xaviax is spying on Adam, because Adam is out and about, and he's like kind of ready to just throw away his deck. He's like, I fucked up again. I can't do this. And Xaviax is just like, I need him to stay on track. How do I fuck this kid up again? I know, I'll go disguise myself as Ubulon in also his rider form, which I think is the only time Ubulon transforms on screen, is when Zabiax does it. I think, unless he does it in the last 4 episodes, but it'd be hilarious if it wasn't. So he goes as Ubulon to just shit talk Adam and then beat the shit out of him as the Advent Master. To more or less ensure that, no, you will go through with your traitor because now you hate this guy again, I guess. But we then catch up with Trent and Maya as Trent finds out that Maya gave up her deck, and he's just like, why? And Maya's like, well, because I can do writing stuff better than being a writer, and that's fine. And I feel like Trent should realize, like, hey, you're doing really good stuff with computers. Like, you're also doing good. But then Walsh has to walk in and be like, hey, I'm sorry for being an asshole. And I'm like, Walsh, it's a little late for that, but okay, sure. I don't know why they let Walsh apologize for being an asshole.
I guess kind of just to tie up loose ends.
Yeah. Like, an unnecessary asshole, mind you. But she also more or less gives Maya the okay to tell the story of what happened, but don't do it in a way that can be verified. So, okay. But then we have Zabiax fighting Adam and all that. I thought that was sooner. But eventually we catch up with Kit and Maya because they meet the real Ubulon. And this is where we get like more like overall writer lore thing where we find out that Ubulon worked for Zabiax. They were from the same planet. Their planet went to hell because of war. Ubulon got sent to Ventara to like deliver the beacons and to teleport all their people to Zabiax's planet to like fix it. But he fell ill, got healed by Ventaran family, realized, oh, I'm the asshole, I should fix this, rebelled against Zabiax, made the decks, recruited the writers, and, you know, yada yada yada, which is once more deeper writer lore thing of, oh right, the writers often have their power sources come from the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this fucking show nailing the core themes of the franchise, the core concepts of the franchise, just nailing it on the head again and again. This show's really good. I honestly think this might be why it got re-imported into Japan, because it worked.
I can see it.
Like somebody went, oh shit, no, this falls in line, unlike Master Rider, which is garbage. But anyway, Len and the others find the other beacon. Loading drive, they fight a set of 3 monsters, blow them up, are done. They head back, everyone's happy, but Adam's not there initially, and everyone's just like happy, having. I love that Maya and Price have an awkward like high five of just like, I remember asshole you, and asshole you hit on me too, and he's like, I know you're mad at me for something, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love that he's just like, I don't know what I did, sorry.
I love how much Price is kind of supposed to be a gentleman, to like be the polar opposite of James, and it's like, you're trying. But everyone's happy and stuff, and then Adam like shows up, and he kind of thinks they're all laughing at him specifically. And I'm like, oh, you have hardcore self-doubt issues. Oh, you poor thing. But we end the episode proper with Zabiax getting his antivirus, which means all of his beacons are about to come back online. Oh no. But that is where we end for this week. Dragonite, you're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just have to wonder how many people maybe haven't given the show a chance because, you know, Mass Rider is bad. This show, like it has its like faults and some odd things to it, but like when it gets stuff right, and it does it really well.
And I feel like it gets more stuff right than wrong, and that's where the good thing is.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, it almost feels like Geo gets the stuff right that Dragon Knight does happen to get wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm more mean on the footage side of things.
Yeah.
Because we've got some weird cuts.
Yeah,
like,
and I assume
kind of all throughout.
Yeah, I assume half of those are director's choices, and other half are we gotta cover up shit. we are reaching the limits of how much we can stretch the context of this footage.
But yeah, I feel like it's a case of if we could get the budget of current writer with a team, maybe not necessarily the same team, but a team that can give another show the same kind of treatment as this, that would really be something to kind of shout to the skies and be like, yeah, you could bring it over and do adaptations and that would still work.
Yeah, like
it doesn't have to be a straight 1-to-1.
Like you just take the lessons learned from Dragon Knight and apply them to a new series. Like it can work. Like I know it will never happen because I literally think Shotaro Ishimori took one look at Mass Rider, saw everything and then went, fuck that. This will never happen again.
I feel like with Dragon Knight, the best thing they did was just look at the story for Ryuki and say, yeah, no.
They looked at the footage and went, okay, how can we use this footage like regardless of context and build from there?
And that's where it kind of picks from. Yeah. That is really good. It's a case of rather than trying to straight adapt, they're like, okay, we will reuse footage, but that's it. We're doing our own story.
Yeah. Some of the best Power Ranger seasons I think we've gotten don't really do the Sentai verbatim. Like, I think a couple of them do, but others are just like, fuck it, we're doing our own thing. Like, RPM, most of the footage used in that series is just for the Megazord fights. Like, a lot of the on-foot combat and stuff is original. I think almost all of it is original, which is insane to consider that the only reused footage, or the only original footage from Go Andra they used was Megazord fights. And that's it. But like RPM, In Space, like SPD to a certain extent, which SPD is a weird case of how it differs from Deca Ranger, since I've seen both. Because like Deca Ranger feels more like a cop show you would see in the States, of it just being like case of the week kind of deals, whereas SPD actually has an overarching story and villain, which is incredibly strange as a comparison point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Dragon Knight, you're a good show. You'll probably land the last 4 episodes. Now I'm like, hey Shoto, can you do the rest of Ryuki, please? With the contract monsters? Thank you. I know you won't because that's not your mentality, but please? Because I don't want to have to track down not just the figure arts for like the writers I want from, or the Ryuki counterparts for Dragon Knight, but also have to go get the Shichaku Henshin contract beast sets because it's the only way to get like half the contract beasts for Figure Arts, because Figure Arts did not bother doing all of them. And I feel it's a disservice to both Ryuki and Dragonite if you don't have the contract beast with the rider. But anywho, anything else?
No.
All right, then Thursday is us actually doing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and continuing on, because I'm not dumb and forget to do grinding and stuff off stream. That might be the reason I may not finish Xenoblade Chronicles on stream, is having homework every week with that game makes me not want to play it on stream and kind of play it at my own pace, which incredibly blows up personal stream plans, so stay tuned. Yeah. Because this one's supposed to last for a while, and if it doesn't, I gotta scramble to figure out what to do next. Friday will be us continuing Halo, achievement hunting, more or less. Well, it's less achievement hunting and more terminal hunting at this point.
For right now.
Yeah. And Saturday's the podcast. And we'll be back around to Sunday or Monday, depending on how things go recently, with the end Dragonite before we move on to Beast Wars. So if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate goal. At TeachUSoon on Twitter gets you updates going on live. Exclamation point Discord chat. Get to Discord link. Drop by. Say hi. See you tomorrow, folks. Or see you Thursday, folks.